Hey, how you doing?
How you doing today? My name's Sam Cummings.
I'm Jake.
Nice to meet you, Jake.
Nice to meet you too.
So why are you here today?
I'm here today, just to talk about what has some things that have been recently affecting me and affecting my lack of exercise. And I just wanted to address some things.
Okay, you said lack of exercise. I'm honestly an exercise psychologist. So what are these things? What are these barriers?
So I injured my shoulder a while back and tore my labrum. So it really affects me, when I lift, it gets swollen. Feels like there's like, pins and needles and burning sensations in there. And it really restricts a lot of the lifts that I can't do. So I can't do any overhead lifts or anything like that because it'll sometimes feel like it's about to pop out again. Sometimes when I bench press or do dumbbell presses, it'll bother me and get really inflamed and red. And then even if I do like simple exercise, like sometimes curls or tricep extensions, I can feel it just like grinding between the joints in there. And I've recently been diagnosed with high blood pressure. So now I'm on blood pressure medicine for that. So that's been affecting, some of the various ways I can and can't work out as well. So I've really been struggling trying to find that, happy median between the two where it doesn't bother my shoulder and it doesn't affect, my blood pressure and the medicine that I have to take to deal with that.
Okay. You said you brought up like a lot of like you said dumbbell press, you said bench press, you said even curls and overhead presses, the things that really bother you in your shoulder. Is that what you mostly try to go for in the gym? Do you do any other workouts or any like,
Um,
or is it just resistance training?
no, those aren't the only things I do. I mean, those are just some of the things that agitate it. I mean, I mostly recently, whenever I do work out, which is few times now, it's mostly the lower body exercises. So like, like leg press or like, like hamstring curls, stuff like that. Machines that it's easy. And I used to do a lot of free weight workouts when I was healthier, and I enjoyed those a lot more because I felt like that was what I was more used to as being an athlete.
Yeah.
So I had to transition a little bit to more lower body workouts. So those are things that don't affect my shoulder.
So it seems like when you're working out, you're just resistance training, and high blood pressures are very it affects your heart and affects your blood, and it can really damage your heart as time goes on. Have you thought about aerobic training of late? Uh,
Um,
does that affect your shoulder at all?
you know, so like cardio.
Yeah, cardio.
So I have been trying to do a little bit more cardio as well because that doesn't really affect my shoulder. But my doctor that prescribed me the medicine for my blood pressure, he said that I can't really go too rigorous with those activities because I shouldn't get my heart beat up too fast. So I've been trying to do a little bit of that, but I find sometimes I get shortness of breath, and I feel like kind of like pressure in my chest and kind of fatigued and like hot. So I've gotten away from those a little bit because the way that it affects my blood pressure and stuff like that.
Okay. Um. Well, if you're working out lower body and like that's all you can do, are you maybe we can focus on different aspects of your health. Are you to maybe lower your heart rate? I mean, lower your blood pressure and stuff like that. How's your eating habits?
My eating habits have definitely declined a little bit. I found myself kind of eating some more fast food, things that I really shouldn't be eating. Um, just because of like some recent changes in my life, I've it's just been easier for me to grab like foods that are a little bit unhealthier. I've been on the go a lot, so I find myself eating a lot more fast food, like I said, which I definitely think contributed to my high blood pressure. And I definitely think I need to make a change there in order for it to go back down. But it's just kind of been hard.
Okay, you say you have this busy on the go lifestyle. Take me through like a day in your life.
So most of the time, I just spend a lot of my day working because I just got this new position in the company that I'm with. So I'm trying to get a head start on this project that we have, and it's very time consuming. I'm putting in a lot of effort. Want to make a good impression. Show them that what I can do. So it's just easier for me when I like wake up, just grab like a granola bar or something, and then like throughout the day, I'll probably just grab like some like fast food from like the cafeteria, and then maybe even like some McDonald's or something on the way home. Something that would just fill me up. It's cheap. It's easy. But I definitely think that that's contributing to some of the health risks that I have right now.
Okay. Your poor diet. How do you think you can like help yourself out? Do you value your diet like at all?
Yeah, I definitely think I need to make a change, and I value like a healthy lifestyle, healthy diet. And whereas I used to, when I had more time, I was eating relatively healthy. I think one way I could definitely change it is, like doing some meal prepping maybe on like a Sunday night if I have time, like prep out some like healthy meals throughout the week that I can take to lunch, to work, reheat for lunch, or just whip something up real quick after work and eat that. That would probably be a lot healthier and probably definitely, help my situation with the high blood pressure.
That's smart. So, I mean, to help your health, that'd be a great plan. To prep your food out. That means you don't really have to spend a lot of time on it. You have it to go if you want to. You have it to stay if you want to. Also, uh, uh, and your exercise seems like you're doing well with the resistance training of your lower body, and then maybe for your upper body. Have you gone to a PT clinic or anything for that for your shoulder?
I have gone to physical therapy before in the past. I went for probably a couple months or so, and it definitely helped out a little bit. But I found that I didn't think it was strenuous enough to get me back to where I wanted to be. I felt that I needed to be doing more, maybe some more rigorous exercises that would have like better stability and strengthen like the muscles around it. And I kind of got away from it. And ever since then, it's just kind of been like popping out, and agitating me a little bit more.
Okay. Maybe like uh, so you liked PT, right?
Yeah, I thought it was helpful.
Okay. Would you like think about going back to PT, but maybe have a little more communication? Like you think you can do more than they recommend? I mean, it seemed like you got off track with your own kind of schedule. I mean, you're obviously a busy guy, and you obviously have a lot of things to worry about. Like if you want to start meal prep and your diet and everything like that, and obviously your blood pressure. So, would you ever think about going back to PT, or do you think that would maybe take too much time out of your day?
I definitely considered it, going back to PT, but I've been talking with my family, uh, and considering the idea of going back and getting another MRI and seeing exactly if what's wrong again and seeing if anything's changed, seeing what they recommend, if they recommend a style of more rigorous physical therapy, or they would just recommend that I get the surgery. So I've
Okay,
been thinking about taking that route as well.
you got a lot of things on your mind. You got you're working out. You're you're going back to you're eating healthier. It sounds like you have a good plan ahead of you. You sound like you're gonna eat healthier. You plan this out with your family. Your work job is obviously stressful, but you seem like you have a time management for it. If you think about surgery, I mean that's a good option. If surgery is an option for you, if you're a viable candidate for surgery, I mean I think you'll probably have to go to PT after the surgery,
Hmm.
so you'll have to figure that out with the if you want to stop working or something like that. So just a few things to think about. Is there anything else you think you might have to overcome with the blood pressure and the having less time to work out?
I think one thing I might have to overcome is maybe just getting back into the routine. I kind of got away from it because I guess I got like a little doubtful of like my ability, because whereas I used to be like a pretty good athlete, pretty good shape with before my shoulder and the blood pressure problem. So I think I kind of maybe put myself in a rut, and I think that I guess I think it affected my ability to perform, and I'm kind of like afraid to like push myself again.
Okay. Well, I mean, it seemed like you used to play football, and that's how you hurt your shoulder, and you used to lift a lot of weights. Have you ever felt like since like you're obviously not up to that point, you gotta take some slow steps up to it. Maybe like walking instead of running because you can't get your heart rate up, and maybe more hypertrophy like type workouts instead of strength type like heavy movements.
Yeah, I've definitely thought about that. My parents usually go on like walks and some light jogs, so I've been talking to my mom about maybe jogging like slowly around the neighborhood, nothing that will get my heart rate up too fast, and hopefully that and trying to fix my diet will get help me get my blood pressure back down, get me off the medicine, so I can start living that healthier lifestyle that I want to live and get back to where I used to be.
All right. Well, you seem like you have everything worked out really well for yourself. I'm glad to help.
Thank you very much.